I moved to Vancouver to go to art school. And one November day, I stepped outside with Luke after lunch, and he looked up to see a break in the clouds. And he said, "Oh, good, it's sunny." I never really adjusted to autumn in Vancouver. I had a hard time with it, to the point where the experienced suffocation from the low-lying clouds, and was spending time in studio, making a lot of work. Some of it was dark, some of it was funny, but it felt great to be able to give an outlet to what I learned to be a struggle with seasonal affectiveness disorder. I can see, I think actually we got the slides a little bit old, so that's okay. I want to pause here to say that I sought professional help, and what they told me was that you're struggling with seasonal effectiveness with the fall. And so this is the story of learning to manage that relationship. When I moved back to Ontario, I would talk about the autumn, and people would say, "Oh, I love the autumn. Autumn's my favorite season. I love the colors." But for me, I thought that autumn wasn't getting credit for something that belonged to summer. Summer's last goodbye. When I thought of the autumn, I think of days getting darker. I think of rain clouds moving in. I think a lot about death and things dying. I would talk about these things, and I'd become a buzzkill of sorts. But all the same, my friend Dylan invited me to his 40th birthday party. And I guess I have a tendency for heavy talk, and so at the party where people were having fun, I said, "So Dylan, what does it mean to be 40? And he thought about it a bit, and he said, "There's no denying I'm now middle-aged." And so I thought about that, and I decided that I too was middle-aged, though 8 years younger. It's not like one day you're middle-aged and the next day not. These things happen in transition, and so it made sense to me that I too was middle-aged. And I was sort of heavy with things, but found myself having had my second consecutive good day sometime in late January. And I wondered, what is this? What is this good day? And it occurred to me that maybe it was that autumn had finally passed, that the seasons, like age, it's not like one day it's fall and the next day it's winter, though they say December 21st is the last day of autumn, maybe it lingers for a time. And I thought about this some more, and it gave rise to something I call the 12-season calendar, which sort of speaks to, like, in this part of the world, we've got these distinct characteristics of seasons, but there's these times in between, where they overlap. And those shoulder seasons, I guess, are important to me. So in my concept, that the characteristic of a season will begin and it'll last for 5 months until it finally fades. And I shared that idea with my friend Bram, and he says, "Listen, if you think that autumn begins on August 21st and it leaves on January 21st, and this is something that's important to you, well, you should throw a party." Well, I'm a bit of an introvert and not especially comfortable in large groups of people. To be honest, I'm not all that comfortable on stage right now, and if you were to invite me to a party at your house, while I'd very much appreciate the invitation, I might choose to do something else. But I thought that Bram made a great point, and I thought that having a party was a good idea. Now, I'm someone who's found a lot of satisfaction in relationship to nature, and have had good relationships with people around campfire, and so it made sense to me that maybe I invite people to join me at the Dufferin Grove campfire pit. And I guess that was the birth of this project called 21 Fires. And 3 years ago, I sent an email out to everyone I know, inviting them to come join me. And then I got really anxious thinking about whether anyone would come. And then I got anxious thinking about that they would come and would they have a good time. And so I spent time and money that I couldn't really afford, getting food and drink. And I guess it's happened 6 times since. But let me look at this, because I wanted to share with you something. People did come out, and despite my reluctance to take center stage, I've had an opportunity to make an offer to the community around me. While the autumn fire brought with it elements of anxiousness, I actually did it again in late January, and it was a terrific experience for me. For me, the winter is a time of brightness that brings hope, and the freezing cold is permission to be still with myself, and my optimism seems to return. And I was just happy that autumn was another 7 months away. But I think it's an unappealing offer, to tell people, hey, come to a freezing cold park and sit with me a while. But people have come, and I've been happy for their company. I found that the ritual of fire can help me navigate my way through the cycles, part of a network of touchstones to return to. The fires have become a wonderful space of intimate community, and I've used it as a platform for talk. Again, I tend towards the heavy, and I've spoken about things like transience and the eternal, structure and indulgence. Even beyond the fire, I have a habit of speaking these recurring principles that inform my life. My girlfriend calls them Eric Rosenberg truth bombs, ERTB, things like energy is a limited resource and the urgency of unimportant things. I don't know, I talk about this stuff a lot. And the fires have helped me learn to share my experience with the world. Accepting my place within community and seeing that I have an offer to make, I suppose I feel like we all do. You can see there's my email, my Twitter, if you're interested in learning about the fire or anything. I'm feeling more open to connecting with people, and it's actually leading to a practice in life coaching, as well as a basis for the work I create. By example, I sometimes write postcards to the turning seasons, and I thought I'd share the one from last fall. I've never been much of a fruit eater. Bananas, mangoes, and cantaloupes sit idle on my kitchen shelf. What a waste, some will say, though I sit easy knowing it all winds up in the compost. I hear a lot of people say that they can't bear the winter. This is a shot. I was just up north for the weekend. But for me, these days of February pass all too fast. I love the stillness and brightness and find great hope in the experience. For those of you out there struggling with the winters, I know some do, I hope you find comfort knowing that the transition always continues and soon the movement of spring will be back upon us. Thank you very much.